Hello, hello, hello! Today we are gonna be talking about some recent drama that has been happening regarding Neace, and then I'll give my opinion on Neace as a coach after the fact that one of my latest videos was regarding me reviewing one of his coaching sessions. So very recently, Neace on his stream basically showcased that he was on Reddit on a different account than his main Reddit account, and this Reddit account called OK_detective531 has made some comments basically defending Neace and coaching. So he was pretending to be someone else and then defending Neace, which is himself. And that Reddit account has now since then been deleted because, yeah, obviously he showcased it and just exposed it. Then we have this video from Rival, where basically after the fact that Neace leaked his second Reddit account, there was an account that was somewhat similar to the Reddit account on Twitter, where that account was defending Neace and it was then attacking Veigar V2. So Veigar V2 then decided to suspect that it could also be Neace just on a secondary Twitter account. And I don't really like the fact that he's attacking other coaches because, yeah, we have all done some stupid stuff or whatever in the past. But attacking someone like Veigar V2, who is a really good coach out of nowhere, is very, yeah, just weird. Then I'm sure some of you guys remember the fact that Neace posted this Challenger screenshot of him hitting Challenger on NA in Season 9. And then Yasuke did detective work. Like, this is insane, the amount of time that he decided to put into this. I personally would never do it, but this is basically showcasing the account that Neace so-called hit Challenger on, which was Death by Cards. And this one basically showcases that Neace was in fact never Challenger on NA. He was, on the other hand, Challenger on the LAN server, which is a worse server even than NA. And I believe that was in Season 7, but I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, here is that fake screenshot. The reason why this is fake, in case you guys didn't know, is because of the font is not the same as every other Challenger screenshot out there. And he came up with some very lame excuses on an interview with ASAP, which I don't think ASAP did the best interview because he didn't really conflict these different situations of Neace potentially faking a screenshot, doing this, doing that. But yeah, there's basically that. Then Neace later on his TikTok then decides to say that he is a multi-role Challenger, which is very weird to say when he hasn't hit Challenger except for LAN in Season 7. So he's never hit it on a major region, and as you guys know, I personally wouldn't even call NA a major region anymore at this point, because it's way closer to Nordic and East than it is to the major regions of E-West, Chinese servers, and Korea. And then what Neace basically said to all of this drama when he received it was the fact that he was gonna prove everyone wrong by getting Challenger on Korea, which is a very respectable thing to do of Neace. I like the fact that he is willing to put time and effort into proving everyone wrong and actually going for Korea Challenger, which is way harder than NA Challenger, and probably also more difficult than US Challenger, because it's one of the most respected solo queue servers out there. And this is his account. So he is Diamond 377 LP with 212 games, 108 wins, 104 losses, 51% win rate. And this is not to say that Neace cannot get higher. Like, if he really put the time and effort into it and spammed a lot of games, he could definitely get to Masters. But there's obviously a very big difference between Masters and Challenger. And at this rate, I don't think that he's gonna be getting Challenger, even if he improves over the course of the next season. So yeah, was a very respectable thing to say and very respectable thing to do, but the results are not so respectable because yeah, this is not really what a Korea Challenger player would have in terms of win rate and rank after this many games. So yeah, kind of failed. So the last thing that we're going to be talking about now is Neace as a coach. So all the drama aside, all the things that he's said and done and whatever, we put that aside, and now we just talk about Neace as a coach. So I think that he is a different coach compared to many of the other coaches that we see in the scene, in the sense that his attitude is slightly more aggressive and more traditional sports, where it's kind of like yelling and encouraging and motivating, which some people simply prefer. That's just this style of coaching, which there's nothing wrong with, as I've mentioned in the past. But he seems to be focusing a lot on just some very basic fundamental things, and this kind of doesn't really matter when it comes to coaching higher elo players. Now, basically how coaching works is that he's probably focusing on the bigger population of players, which would be the lower ranks, and then it's fine to just teach the basics. But if he then gets a higher elo student, then you can't just teach him basics. You need to teach him actually things on top of just the basics. So a little bit more advanced stuff like tempo, stuff like team play and playing ahead of time, waves, stuff like that. And he doesn't really seem to be doing that. And even when he's coaching in lower elo, he is making, in my opinion, a lot of mistakes in the things that he's saying, and he's not very precise in some of the situations where it can be very confusing. But this is also due to the fact that Neace heavily prefers live coaching over VOD reviewing, which is again just a personal choice of him. There's nothing wrong with just coaching live coaching, but my personal opinion on it is that live coaching is not nearly as good as VOD game reviewing. And VOD game reviewing is by far the best and what you should be doing the most, if not all the time. But I also know that live coaching is something that is very popular by players to be coached in. They seem to enjoy it and seem to be not really minding paying the amount of money that it costs. So there is definitely a market for it, and Neace is simply just utilizing that market. So again, there's nothing wrong with it, but from a coach perspective, he's obviously coaching in an environment that is not nearly as good, because it's fast-paced and a lot of mistakes can happen in real time compared to being able to pause and stop and go back and go into smaller details, which will matter more in the long run. So basically how you should look at it is VOD game reviewing will help you play better in the next 100 games, whereas live game reviewing will only help you play good in one game. That's basically how you should look at it. And then a lot of people will ask me about his pricing, because everyone seems to go crazy about the fact that Neace is charging $350 for a session, whereas some other good coaches would charge, I've seen 150, I've seen 100, I've seen 70, 80. These would be like the high, either high challenger coaches or professional coaches. They would charge between this like 70 to 150 euro or dollar per session mark, and Neace is over double of that. And I know a lot of people ask me about it, so that's why it's mentioned here. There's nothing wrong with him charging $350 for a session. It's crazy that he's doing it, and it is, in my opinion, overpriced, because there is better and higher quality coaching for way cheaper. Now, in terms of the coaching that he is giving, it seems very basic. So this means that it will be good from Iron to Platinum Elo, maybe even Diamond Elo. But as soon as we get into Master, Grandmaster, and Challenger, I don't think that he's going to be a very good coach, because I don't think the student's going to learn much from him. And I think that there are other coaches that would be good to learn from. And just to give a shout out to some people, Veigar V2 is really good, Haidan is really good, Coach Seal is also very good, Rebo is also quite good. Like, there are just many other coaches that are either high elo themselves or have successfully coached people into high elo, stuff like rank 10, rank 1, stuff like that. and they would help high elo players much better. So if you are a lower elo player, you can easily book a session from Neace and you will definitely improve from it. But you are also going to be paying probably 10 times the amount of other coaches who are coaching within that elo bracket. So you are basically paying for the session with Neace. You're not paying for the very best coaching experience and the very best coach in the entire world. You're just basically paying for Neace and his brand for a session. So if you're lower elo, you can get away with getting sessions even for free, but otherwise you would typically see like anything from $10 to $35 is very common from this like iron to diamond elo bracket. There will be many coaches that I'm sure are good. I just don't know that many because it's not really interesting me. So that's basically the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, just letting you guys know that there are other coaches out there and you don't have to book coaching with Neace because he is not the very best coach or anything. He's basically just claiming that he has the most experience within coaching, but that in itself doesn't really matter because you can be coaching thousands of players, but if they are not improving or not getting better, it doesn't really matter. And also, it's much more respectable coaching someone to very high elo or coaching a professional team than it is to just coaching gold elo players to platinum or whatever, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. But see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.